In vegetable gardening, market gardening, or agriculture in general, when it comes to natural pest control, we can have these different beneficial insects, arachnids, or other animals that can really have beneficial effects on the landscape and to keep pest populations down and our crops healthy. But there's one particular predator that I really want to mention, I really want to highlight in this video because it doesn't really garner all that much attention. And a lot of modern humans might have a bit of an unconscious aversion to it. But despite our own perception of this creature, this predator can have immense positive attributes on the farm or otherwise in a landscape. So first off, some general points to identify the ring-necked snake. So this reptile has gray to black scales and it has an orangish gold ring around its neck, and it also has a goldish or orange underbelly. In most cases, that is a sure sign that you have a ring-necked snake. So this snake can get up to 18 or 20 inches long. However, the one I found was quite a bit smaller, probably 8 to 10 inches. But these snakes can be pretty small. They can be the size of garter snakes or even smaller than that. Now, oftentimes, this is a snake that we might not recognize, right? And that's because we usually don't see it during the day, because the ring-necked snake is primarily nocturnal. So it's usually going to do its hunting and moving about at night. If the snake feels threatened, it will also release a pungent odor to help repel any predators. Also, in the wild, this snake may live up to 20 years or so. Now, that's more than likely not going to happen because there are a lot of other animals out there that will hunt down this ring-necked snake as a food source. And then usually this snake will lay 1 to 10 eggs early on in the summer, so that can be good to help keep the snake population going. Now, when we talk about the benefits of this ring-necked snake, it is primarily that of a predator. So this snake will eat slugs, snails, worms, salamanders, frogs, spiders, mice, the sow bugs, right, the isopods, and then also various insect larvae that it may find on the landscape or in the soil. And then this snake can also be prey. It can also be an important food source for other animals as well, like birds, especially like the raptors, you know, the birds of prey. Other snakes, frogs too, usually the larger types like the bullfrog. And then we also have some mammals that will go after the snake, such as the fox, coyote, and the weasel. In regard to habitat, where can we find this snake on the landscape? Or what do we need to put on the landscape in order to attract and support the life of this snake? This snake can be found under rocks, under logs, or tarps even. Basically, objects that will create a damp, dark environment by the soil. We will also find this snake in or near wooded areas, right? You know, shaded areas. These are areas that are more likely to hold moisture for a longer amount of time than in the middle of a sunny field or anything like that. And then, of course, I want to emphasize the damp environments. You know, maybe the snake is going to be by a body of water, it's going to be in the shade, right, or under certain objects, or even in this case under debris or mulches. And then also sometimes with certain types of houses we can also find this snake, especially if there are unfinished basements. And even actually back in the day, the snake may have been encouraged to be in or near human homes because they would help to take care of some of the pests, even some of the mice. And we can still encourage this reptile to take up residence in our local landscapes because of all of the benefits that this snake has to offer. And then finally, one quick note is that in terms of humans, this snake is generally really not aggressive. It is not going to actively try to bite humans. It is only going to do that as like a final defense, you know, a last resort. This snake is more than likely going to flee before it takes any type of aggressive stance towards humans. Even if this snake does attempt to bite a human, its jaw and teeth structure are not very easily set up to do so. But notwithstanding, if this snake does successfully bite a human, its venom is really mild and it is generally considered to be basically harmless. So thank you so much for checking out this video on the ring-necked snake. Now we know how to identify it, we know the benefits that it can have on the landscape, and we know what types of habitats we can find in, and or what types of habitats we might want to cultivate or build in order to more successfully include this predator on the landscape. And we also know that this snake is basically harmless to humans. So hopefully that will quell any potential fears and we can just let this predator do its job. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.